Welcome to Sicily. We are here for the 2015 Kawasaki Versys 650 and 1000 press launch. Today's ride is the Versys 650. It's been pretty fun. You know, Sicily is a tight, twisty island with some pretty serious roads, a lot of cobblestones, a lot of kind of rutted country lanes and things like that, which is kind of precisely where you'd want an adventure bike or a rangy, sporty, touring type bike like a Versys. So we're having a good time. I think we're in the right setting to figure out what's different and how it's working. This whole upper fairing is brand new, and the cameraman will walk around right now and we can take a look at the new Kawasaki face of the Versys. It used to have a vertical stacked headlight, like a narrow headlight, kind of funky looking. And now it's got this sort of ninja-esque side-by-side headlights, faired-in headlights, and it has a significantly larger windscreen that is now tool-free adjustable. Now, unfortunately, it's just a mechanical knob tensioner, and it's easy enough. It's not one-hand adjustable, and it's not really on-the-fly adjustable, unless you're reckless. But it does offer noticeably more wind protection. And this morning, when it was cold and rainy, it was much appreciated. The standard handguards on the LT model, standard bags. These handguards, coupled with the bigger upper fairing and the larger windscreen, really make a difference when it's cold and rainy out. Now, in Southern California, I don't typically have to deal with that too much, but here I can honestly say that the new fairing works much better. So after about 100 miles of riding so far, I'm pleased to report that there is an outstanding change, and that is the new Nissan front brakes. There's also a new Nissan rear brake, but particularly the front. You know, it's got a monoblock style caliper, but it's not actually a monoblock caliper. It's a two-piston pin slide caliper, which is the same technology as the old ones. So it looks better, and you'd think it doesn't perform any better. The nice thing is, though, Kawasaki coupled that caliper change, which is mostly cosmetic, with an actual new front brake master cylinder that has a higher leverage ratio and also a more aggressive pad compound. And what that does is it takes away all of the wooden feel that the Versys kind of was known for having. There is something, though, not too pleased with. The good news is it's not a standard part, but these bikes are fully accessorized with genuine Kawasaki accessories, and one of those is heated grips. So they're nicely integrated once you put the kit on the bike. Earlier when it was cold and raining, you know, low 50s and pretty heavy rain, I was using the heated grips on high, and the right grip got too hot really to handle. I needed to turn it down a notch. The left grip at that time was pretty comfortable. Problem is, as soon as I turned it down to medium, the left grip went almost completely cold, and the right grip became about like the left grip was on high. One other minor complaint, there is a gear selector now standard on both the Versys 650 and the Versys 1000. Now, the issue I have with it is it's sort of like a tacked on afterthought. Instead of being an integrated with the LCD type display, it's sort of this, it almost looks like an LCD clock that you'd buy at, you know, a drugstore or something with the adhesive back, and you stick it on there. It uses like an interpretive algorithm to figure out what gear you're in. And because of that, because it's not actually reading the gear position, it's sort of looking at the RPM and the road speed and trying to tell you what gear it thinks you're in. It does sometimes go blank and jump around a little bit, which can be a little distracting. The rest of it, you know, there is a new separate function front fork. It has roughly the same travel, has roughly the same overall performance as the old fork. Still rebound damping and preload adjustable. One thing that is a little bit different is that it does seem to have a little more refinement to it. So it's a little bit less clunky and maybe a little less mid-stroke stiction in it. So as you start to change direction, as you compress the suspension, it seems to react maybe a little bit better. The rear shock, they added this nice remote preload adjuster here, and they angled it intelligently so that you can reach down and adjust it on the fly without fishing around. And that's a nice added benefit. So, you know, you go a little faster, you might want to firm it up a little bit, and you get on some rough, choppy pavement in town or something like that, and you might want to soften it for a smoother ride, and you now have the option of changing that. To keep the price in line though, they did sacrifice adjustable rebound damping in that shock, and I was really concerned about that. So I was concerned that with them dropping the adjuster on the new 2015 models, that this thing would end up being just a pogo stick when you hit bigger bumps. And funny enough, it doesn't seem to be. Now, it might be the added mass of the bags and stuff, maybe adding a little bit of extra leverage to the chassis so that the shock can't bounce it up so fast. Or it might just be an internal change to the shock. So I was concerned that deletion of the adjuster be a problem, and it turns out that so far it doesn't appear to be. Other than that, you'll have to read the whole story on Motorcycle.com. I am very pleased. I would gladly trade my 09 in.